All right, everybody, welcome to, I don't know, what is this, the Waterloo Convention Center? I wanted to call it the Five Sullivan Brothers Center still. Is it still? How many people are first timers this weekend to the Hall of Fame weekend? We got some hands. All right. How many of you guys have been here many times before? All right, so you guys know, 2 count, there it is, thank you. Shout out to the 2 count. So you guys know how different this is this year compared to the years before the hotel got redone and this venue got redone. So it's a whole new game right now. But welcome everybody to the Brisco and Big Ace show. So little known fact is that 3 years ago, this weekend is when we did our very first episode of the Brisco and Big Ace show. We did it right in the hotel across the street with our friend Brian Cage. And that was how all of this began. And I've been stuck with Wes since. Not stuck. I take it back. You guys, Mark Red knows what I'm talking about. So you guys know. But yeah, we've been doing it now for 3 years. So it's a nice way to kick off our 3rd anniversary as a podcast, as a show online, Wes and I. And we couldn't do it with better guests here at the Hall of Fame weekend. So first of all, she's been on our show a few times if you've watched and listened, so you've seen her before. We've had her on for a few conversations. We had to bring her here, and that is Red Velvet from AEW joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and in case, just talk right into it, you're good. And in case anybody didn't know already, also fiance to Wes Brisco, these 2 are engaged to get married. So that's happening soon. And then, of course, we have our a great guest over here at the end of the row. You guys, I'm sure, have seen him already. It's you. It's not the mixer board. So you guys obviously have seen him in the pro wrestling world, WWE, AEW now, an Olympian, the Arnold Classic, the Pan Am Games. I can't keep track of everything you have done, sir, but one of the best at it, Mark Henry, joining us today. So we're very happy, very honored to have both of these guys here, Red and Mark, to join us today. And we're just glad to be back here in Waterloo. It's been 2 years since we've been able to do this, obviously with everything that happened last year. So thank you for coming, everybody. Oh, you don't want to know. If you don't know, you don't want to know. Okay. You're better off just being in the dark over the last year if you haven't figured it out.
It's good to have everyone here, and especially because, this is our only 2nd time doing it with actually a live crowd. So we appreciate everyone coming, and this is kind of like the birthplace of everything. And for everyone that comes, it's she always.
I can barely hear him here, so.
But to pay respects to amateur wrestling, to pro wrestling, to check out the Hall of Fame, just everything that's going on this weekend is really special. And you don't get very many opportunities to get to hang out and see your heroes and your friends and to see the history, the knowledge that you get to see when you walk through that museum. So I'm just glad that all you guys came and blessed, and thank you guys for coming, and let's start this bad boy out.
Yeah, we'll jump right into it. I think the obvious thing we should start with on this show is we have 2 big stars from All Elite Wrestling sitting with us today. So I'd like to get into that with both of you guys, Red and Mark, on what brought you to AEW, how that road led there, any interactions you 2 have had, and just your overall feeling of being with All Elite Wrestling.
Okay. So I'll go first. I landed in Jacksonville. I was brought in to be an extra. I had no expectations. I said, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to wrestle like it's going to be the first and the last time. Didn't think too much into it. And then it just went well from there, and I kept being brought back. So as sad as the pandemic has been for me, it's been a complete change in my career. I got signed twice there while being there and upgraded contract. So it's been great for me. And I was there, and then Mark came, and I was so happy because I was like, yes, we have someone else who can bring so much more knowledge to the table. My first encounter with him was at Mission Pro, which is Thunder Rosa's promotion. He was there. He brought his daughter. She caught my eye. She was so into it. And it was an all-women's show. So that was my first interaction with him. And it was great, and he's awesome. And I can't wait to be a sponge and soak up all the knowledge that he has for us.
Yeah, definitely a lot to learn from him. Mark, what do you think?
I put waterproof makeup just in case.
No, that is pretty accurate.
like the first time I met you, it was at Bishop Pro, and my daughter, like, she's been around wrestling since she was born, and has never ever expressed any interest in pro wrestling other than, can I use Jacob's action figures as dates for my dolls? Something to that effect. And she went to Mission Pro Wrestling, saw all the women wrestling, and was like, I can be a wrestler. And I was like, yeah, you can be a wrestler if you want to. And she's like, but I have to win. And I was like, well, you might not want to get into wrestling. Everybody loses wrestling. But I've always wanted to be more on the executive side. I've done like 8 jobs with WWE and enjoyed my time as a talent, but I think that I was always underutilized from a marketing standpoint, from a talent development standpoint, from being able to do social and community involvement, organizing, and I just wanted to do all of that. And I had never been an employee in all the 24 years of me being with the company. And I wrote it up. I was told to write it by, the boss. And once I made my proposal, I got a no from somebody that shouldn't have been calling me because they were beneath the position that I was calling for, that I was vying for. And I feel like if I'm gonna get told no, it's gonna be by the person that's name is on the check, not by one of the people that work for them. And I had made up my mind that it wasn't a bitter situation. It was business. It was, I got to take care of my family. Ain't nobody in this room going to pay for my kids' school.
Exactly.
And I'm the one that's got to do that. And if I have to leave to go get that done, then I got to leave to go get that done. And it was bittersweet to call Tony and say, hey man, I have a proposal for you. And Tony was like, quit playing. I didn't have a talent deal, so I have to wait. And not only that, but I own Mark Henry. I own the rights to World's Strongest Man. So I'm not beholden to nobody. And I've kind of always did my own thing anyway. A lot of the stuff that I did, I created. I created Sexual Chocolate. I helped with my music.
No, but that's for real. Guys, you guys don't understand, and girls, that what Mark is saying is that when you own your own name, take pride in that. Don't always take the first check and the first name they give you. Own your own right. Own your own name, because owning your own platform and owning your own name, you're able to take that to somewhere else. So don't ever sell short. Don't always sign that contract right away, because owning your own property, because you see it happen to rappers, you see it happen to a bunch of people where they sign away their rights, and then when it comes down
I don't own Sexual Chocolate. Like that was a character that was created by me, but owned by them, and they'll get the licensing and royalties and all that stuff to the end of time. But like it's important as a talent to not want to be involved so much that you're willing to sell your soul. And I never was one that worried too much about winning and losing, but how the game was played, how I was perceived. Like the perception of me was more important than the character, if that makes any sense. Like I want people, when I walk in the room, people to go, okay, that's somebody that's high up, not man, that dude right there, he does a bunch of jobs. And you have to do jobs because that's the nature of the business, but it don't mean you have to be a fool. And I'm talking to a wrestler. I don't know anybody wrestle.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of
Put your
people,
hand down. You ain't
but this
Yeah.
this is our podcast, so a lot of other people are tuning in live. This is being broadcast all over the world. It's just sharing a little knowledge, and not only that, I want to know, how did you get 3-6 Mafia to do your entrance?
Oscar winning
Yeah,
3-6
they had
Mafia.
just-
Yeah, I
they-
know,
They
like,
just
oh my
won an
God.
Oscar, and there's several ways that a couple of ways that happened. Those guys were fans